The Red Raiders addressed some major needs in the transfer portal, including that of the offensive line. In today's video, we'll discuss all of the offensive commitments for the Red Raiders in this portal cycle, including five blue chip recruits. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And if you want 100% free, authentic, and just be a part of the best community of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, all you got to do is 3 simple steps. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech football, whether it's on the actual gridiron or it's in the portal, recruiting, whatever it is, we've got you covered right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans in the Back to 12 podcast channel. All right, we're going to talk in chronological order here, okay? So whoever committed first to last, we'll get there. But there are 5 blue chip recruits. What does that mean for the Red Raiders? And just 5 on the offensive side of the football, okay? If you want to go and listen to the defensive breakdown in terms of everybody the Red Raiders landed in the portal on the defensive side of the football, which, by the way, they have 5 4-star commitments over there as well. That's on the previous video here on the channel. We're strictly going to talk about offense, chronological order. Let's get to it. The first commitment of this portal class for the Red Raiders was that of Hunter Zambrano, Illinois State offensive tackle. He's listed as an offensive lineman. He was a preseason All-American. Now, he missed most of the 2024 season, but he did have NFL draft grades, okay? He is ranked as the #1 offensive lineman and 8th overall player in this portal class, according to 247 Sports. He has 1 year of eligibility left, and he's a verified 6'5", 305, okay? In 2023, his last full season, Zambrano held an 88.7 PFF passing grade over nearly 400 snaps, an overall grade of 79.3. That is the 18th best grade in all of his conference, in all of college football kind of deal. So, again, really, really good offensive lineman. Now, for the Red Raiders, he can play multiple spots, but it looks like he's going to go from left tackle for Illinois State and plug in at the right guard spot for Texas Tech, making the Red Raiders have one of the best interior offensive lines in the Big 12. From left to right, you go Vinny Scurry, who's set to return, Sheridan Wilson at center, and then you've got Hunter Zambrano. Not too bad if you ask me. So, again, he's likely to slide in at right guard, but this is a guy that has all Big 12 type potential and a guy, in my estimation, that the Red Raiders pinpointed in the portal early and attacked early and got that commitment early, as he was the first commitment in this portal cycle for the Red Raiders, either side of the football. All right, we move on to a playmaker, Reggie Virgil, Miami of Ohio wide receiver, 6'4", 190. In 2024, he had 41 catches, 816 yards, and 9 TDs. He ranked top 10 nationally in terms of yards per catch, 19.9. He is a big play threat on the outside that turns 50-50 balls into 75-25 balls in his favor routinely. He makes defenders miss in open space, and at 6'4", that's not a common thing to do, okay? He can line up multiple spots for the Red Raiders in terms of inside, outside. He is a true deep threat that understands leverage as well, and a guy that I'm very interested to see where Mac Leftwich lines him up routinely, because you think about the wide receivers you have coming back if you're Texas Tech. You've got Caleb, don't forget the payday Douglas, then you've got Coy Aiken, right? Do you slide Reggie Virgil into the slot, or do you kind of move those guys around? And I think it's going to be the latter, but it is very nice to have a guy that you beat out big-time schools in Oklahoma, #we don't speak broke at Texas Tech, to land the commitment of Reggie Virgil, a guy that in my estimations will be a key playmaker for the Red Raiders in 2024. All right. Again, I haven't heard a proper pronunciation for this guy's name, so apologies if I butcher it, but Will Jadis, okay? Miami of Ohio, the second Miami of Ohio commitment. Obviously, we just talked about Reggie Virgil. Will is an offensive lineman. He's 6'8", 307. He had multiple offers in the portal from big-time programs, including Oklahoma State, Pittsburgh, Wake Forest, and then obviously Texas Tech. He was a high priority, it seemed like, for Clay McGuire as the offensive line coach. Again, this guy is 6'8", 307. His numbers aren't going to wow you when you look at the PFF and even his film. I think he's going to move from left tackle at Miami of Ohio to right tackle. And honestly, as it stands right now, I think he's probably your starting right tackle. And maybe in a best case scenario, he's a guy that's kind of your swing tackle. But as it stands right now, and things can obviously change, he's your projected starting right tackle, at least by my estimations. But it was a solid pickup, and nonetheless, a guy that obviously has the size. And we'll see where he actually ends up on the starting offensive line, or if he's that swing tackle. But again, probably your right tackle right now. All right, Mitch Griffs, Wake Forest quarterback, 5'11", 193. He transferred to Marshall before the 2024 season, before sitting out this year. He spent 4 years with the Demon Deacons, his best year coming during the 2023 campaign, where he passed for just over 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and he added 128 rushing yards and a pair of touchdowns as well. He's not coming in here to be anything more than QB3. Okay, that's what he's coming in here to be. You have your clear-cut quarterback 1 and quarterback 2. Doesn't really matter which order you put them in, whatever your opinion is on Will Hammond or Baron Morton, doesn't really matter. Griffs is coming in to be your QB3 and be that veteran guy in terms of he has experience just in case something does go awry for the Red Raider QB room. But I like this pickup in terms of depth, experience. Again, he's not going to be asked to do much outside of BQB3 because of Will Hammond and Baron Morton. But I like the pickup from a QB3 perspective because, let's face it, you didn't really have enough healthy quarterbacks going into the spring, right? Baron Morton may be healthy for it. Will Hammond is healthy. Outside of Will Hammond and the walk-on from Friendship, who else did you have? Because Lloyd Jones, he's recovering from an injury as well. Is he going to be ready to go by spring? Hopefully, right? But Baron Morton and Jones, that cuts out 2. That means you only had 2 guys for all those reps in spring. Griffs is a good guy to pick up. All right. Before we get into the latter half and the final 3, I guess I should say, commitments for Texas Tech on the offensive side of the football, just one more reminder. Best way to help the channel, like the video, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate over 100,000 of y'all that have tuned in this month. It's been a very, very productive December here on the channel, so I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And if y'all want to continue to support the channel and have 100% free videos here, it's really simple. Just like the video and hit that subscribe button. All right. Let's jump into the final 3 offensive additions. You got Terrence Carter, the Louisiana tight end. He's 6'2", 240, 2 years of eligibility remaining, a native of Killeen, Texas. In 2024, he had nearly 50 catches, 48 to be exact, nearly 700 yards, 689 to be exact, 4 touchdowns, and nearly 14.5 yards per catch. He was a first-team All-Sun Belt selection. And according to On3, he ranks as the 4th best tight end in this portal class and the top 70 player overall. He's versatile. He lines up all over the field. He will be one of the more intriguing pieces in this offense in terms of how Mac Leftwich uses him alongside John Carlos Miller III at the tight end position. This was a guy that had multiple big-time offers, and you beat another Big 12 program out for his commitment in Houston. # we don't speak broke. But the other offers he had were Florida State, Arkansas, Cal, Houston, Illinois, Pitt, Liberty, among others. Okay, so you beat out some big competition there, and this is a guy that I love the skill set and love the pairing of him and John Carlos Miller the third, in terms of being the 2 tight ends on this roster that should get a heavy amount of snaps in a Mac Leftwich offense. All right, we talked about the offensive line and how the Red Raiders most likely landed already 2 offensive linemen that will be starting. Well, this is the 3rd right here, and his name is Howard Sampson from UNC, 6'8", 330 from Humble, Texas. I mean, he's a stud, dude. I mean, watching his tape, if you like watching offensive linemen just maul people, you're going to like Howard Sampson. He transferred from UNC from UNT, so he started his collegiate career at UNT, transferred to UNC, and now back in the Lone Star State after playing left tackle for the Tar Heels. He's a mean and nasty offensive tackle. And when you watch him play, you can tell what his favorite breakfast food is. He is a big pancake guy, okay? He loves pancakes, and not only on the table, but also on the field. He was an All-ACC honorable mention, and he will slide in and be the starting left tackle for the Red Raiders. So you get a guy that's 6'8", 330, as your left tackle. You get a guy in Will Jados at 6'8", 307 as your starting right tackle right now. And then you get Hunter Zambrano, a guy that's also pretty big at 6'5", 305 as your starting right guard. Now you're starting to look like you have an actual legit offensive line that can compete with big-time programs in the trenches. All right, last guy on the offensive side that the Red Raiders have signed from the commitment standpoint is Quentin Joyner, the USC running back from Maynard, Texas, 5'11", 216, totaled 63 carries for 478 yards and 3 TDs this past season as a redshirt freshman for the Trojans. Led the Big Ten in yards per carry, 7.6 to be exact. He will have 3 years of eligibility left. And again, he's from Maynard. He went to Maynard High, same high school as the all-time leading rusher in Texas Tech football program history in Taj Brooks. Taj Brooks was also instrumental in terms of getting this commitment for the Red Raiders. Went a long way in terms of helping. He visited Ohio State recently, had offers from major programs, right? But Ohio State, when I say he visited, that was the main competition, and the Red Raiders beat out the Buckeyes to land this running back. He is a top 5 running back in this portal class and a guy that I think slides into RB1 for the Red Raiders next year, as he is a true home run hitter and also understands how to work between the tackle. He's patient. He's going to be a bona fide star, in my opinion, alongside the likes of Jacoby Williams and Cam Dickey. That running back room is absolutely stacked for the Red Raiders. All right. Run over recap is a better way to say this. The complete list with 247 and on-3 rankings of these players in terms of, again, the Red Raiders landed 7 offensive players in the portal and have them signed. 5 of them are blue chip recruits. Blue chip recruits mean 4 or 5 stars, okay? We're going to run through it here. Hunter Zambrano, Illinois State offensive lineman. He'll be the right guard for the Red Raiders in 2025. He is a 4-star and rated as the top offensive lineman in the portal, according to 247. Reggie Virgil, Miami of Ohio wide receiver, 4-star. Will Jados, Miami of Ohio offensive lineman, your projected right tackle as of right now for the Red Raiders, 3-star. Mitch Griffs, QB3. He was a 3-star. You got Terrence Carter Jr. from Louisiana, the tight end, rated as a 4-star according to On3. Howard Sampson, UNC offensive tackle. He will be your starting left tackle for the Red Raiders in 2025, rated out as a 4-star. Then you have the aforementioned Quentin Joyner, the USC running back. He is ranked as a 4-star running back and, well, a top 5 running back in the portal cycle and likely will slide into RB1 for the Red Raiders in 2025. Now, one more thing before we go. Texas Tech is still in the mix for the 2025 5-star offensive tackle from Denton Ryan, Ty Haywood. Will the Red Raiders land his commitment? I don't know. And if anybody else tells you that they do, they're probably lying. All right. But by all accounts, it will come down to Texas Tech and Michigan as it stands right now. Now, the earliest that Ty Haywood could sign, not commit, but actually sign the dotted line to become, a Red Raider, Wolverine, whatever it may be, whatever he decides to end up doing, is February 5th, a.k.a. National Signing Day, not early National Signing Day, the one that used to matter, but is really outdated now. This is definitely worth monitoring. Will the Red Raiders land him again? I don't know. And if somebody tells you that they will, they're probably just being hopeful, right? But he is a guy to monitor. Again, 5-star offensive tackle from Denton Ryan, Ty Haywood. It sounds like it's going to come down to Michigan and the Red Raiders. Could go either way, but worth something to monitor for Texas Tech fans going into that, National Signing Day that is scheduled for February 5th, 2025. Again, the Red Raiders go absolutely nuclear in the portal, not only on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, landing 3 offensive linemen, in my estimation, in terms of starters, a starting caliber wide receiver in Reggie Virgil, a starting caliber tight end in Terrence Carter Jr., and, starting caliber running back in Quentin Joyner. Bona fide electric superstar type stuff by the Red Raiders in the portal. I'm excited about 2025. I know you are too. If you want to stay in the know on everything Texas Tech football all year long, 100% free, right here with the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, almost doubling any other Texas Tech YouTube channel. There's 3 simple steps if you want to join the Back to 12 squad. All I ask you to do is simply like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell.